Hello, welcome to another video in the Scouring demo. Today's video is going to be a guide on all the build orders in the game, or pretty much all the build orders that I figured out how to do. And pretty much the next part of this video, I'm going to be showing each of the build orders and how to do them in first person point of view. Alright, here I'm going to show the archer start build order. What you want to do is start making peasants right away. And then you take 4 peasants and you try to make a sawmill. You tell the other 4 peasants to make a barracks. And then the next 2 peasants out of your town hall should try to make 2 farms. But instead of making your second farm right away, you can wait until your barracks and sawmill finish building, so that you can start archer production right away. Because if you start to make your second farm right away, you're not gonna have enough wood to start archers. You're gonna have to wait a few seconds for your woodworkers on top to chop some wood first. And over here, I'm able to start my second farm just a few seconds later, but it's just more important to have archer production be a little faster. And if you're able to build your barracks next to a wolf den, then it's a good opportunity to get some XP for your archers while you wait to get a good amount of archers that are going to allow you to move out on the map. But I guess if you don't want to shoot some wolves, you can always find a troll, shoot him a little bit, make him follow you to your barracks so that you're able to get some gold and a good amount of XP by killing him. And then I started making a second farm just to be a little ahead of my food, so that my farmers are not going to be starving. And you're just constantly making peasants and archers. And an easy way to make sure that you're always producing is to put your barracks and your town hall on each separate control group. That you can click the number on your keyboard and easily produce the units that you need to. And I guess it's also going to be beneficial to memorize the hotkeys for the unit production, so you can just click them on your keyboard instead of having to click them using the mouse. And here I'm showing that you can check your food and see that it's going to be running out soon. Because about each of these units is around 10 food. Archers are 8 food, so you can only make about 12 of them before you need another farm. And here I have a good amount of archers, which is going to allow me to move out on the map to try and kill some mobs or neutrals. But of course, you just want to never stop producing. Just always make archers and peasants. And here I'm going to show a very easy way to kill a troll. Even though he's a little faster and he's going to be able to catch up to your archer. But if you just keep running around this little house, this big log here, then it's just going to be too fat and too slow to catch up to your running archer. And I guess you can have less archers shooting him, but it's going to take you more time to micro your archer and do more circles around that big log. And I guess here I saw I had all the gold, so I decided to start upgrading my town hall to level 2 so that I could be able to get a archer damage upgrade. But I guess I couldn't really produce any more peasants, so I had even more gold, so I decided to make a second base. But if you don't want to invest into more economy, you can try to make a second barracks and to maybe try to mass produce even more archers in case if you want to do like a push or a rush. But making a second base is going to be a little more safe. That way you're going to be able to have more resources to make more units, more buildings, but more importantly, more technological buildings.
Our forces are under attack.
And here I'm showing the same trick again. It's very easy and there's very little micro that you need to do when you have a lot of archers. And I like to group my 2 town halls to the same control group. I put them on control group 5. You can just easily press 5 and then E to just mass produce all the peasants. And basically, if your barracks next to the wolf den gets too full, you want to try to take away your archers so that you don't overwhelm the wolves and you have time to allow the wolves to get more numbers again or to respawn. Because sometimes if you leave your archers there, they level up too quickly and they basically kill all the wolves. And especially when you get the damage upgrade for the archers, they're even more likely to kill all the wolves and you're not going to get any more passive XP. But I guess if you don't have a wolf den next to you, because some spawns may be out of bed, you can just try to kill pretty much almost all the wolves and just leave one wolf and then you can rotate to another wolf den location. And this is pretty much the end of the first night. And pretty much you should have about second base. And a good place to get all the XP by shooting those wolves there. Have about a group of 20 archers there with all the XP. Maybe more than half of them are level 2. And if you want, from this point onward, you can try to make a stables or a cannon, smithy, to get your town hall to level 3. To maybe get a church for your Cavaliers. Or to even make 1 or 2 more barracks to just start producing more archers or making more Cavaliers. Alright, and this is going to be the Swordsman start build order. Pretty much all you want to do is start making peasants right away from your town hall. And then take all your 8 workers and then try to make a barracks right away. And then the next worker that comes out of your town hall, you want him to make a sawmill. It's gonna make it very slowly, but it's gonna save you all the time in later part of your, I guess, economy. And then the next 2 workers out of a town hall, you wanna tell them to make 2 farms. And then all the workers that were making a barracks, you just tell them to get some gold. And from this point onward, you just want to be mass producing swordsmen and peasants. And pretty much just like in any build order, you can put your barracks and town hall in different control groups. This will greatly, I guess, help you out in allowing you to produce units effectively. So you don't have to manually click buildings to produce them. And I just added one more woodworker so that I would be able to get a bit more wood. And that would make sure that I would have enough wood to make a bird farm. And so that my workers wouldn't be starving. And here you can start fighting the wolves when you have about 5 swordsmen. But you don't want to fight them right next to their dens, their houses. You want to pull them a bit far away so they're able to run away, like you see there. One of you have a little who has health left. Just gotta make sure that your swordsmen don't get focused down, and you have enough time to actually kill some wolves. But here, instead of killing all the wolves, you just leave one there. You can move on to kill other neutrals around the map. And of course there I remembered to make a third farm. And you don't need to build it with 3 workers right away. You can make it a bit earlier, just using 1. And then when your food goes negative, you can just add additional workers to your farms. And killing a troll is pretty easy. You just take away the swordsman that he's currently punching. That will allow them to not be focused, and it will allow them to heal over time. And pretty much here is when the build order gets a little more micro intensive. Basically take your first group of swordsmen, you try to clear one part of a map, and then your second group of swordsmen that are at your base, you can make a other control group for them, and you can use them to start clearing from 2 points on the map. Because if you try to put them all in one group, then they're not going to get XP evenly, and some units might have more XP, and a good amount of them might have too little. And basically the best way to, I guess, fight wolves, you want to make sure that only one wolf is fighting one swordsman at a time. And if there's more than one wolf attacking a swordsman, then he's gonna get killed real quickly. And that's how you want to move them away before they get focused down too hard. And pretty much if it's a single swordsman fighting a single wolf, then the swordsman's gonna level up to level 2 faster than he's gonna die. So that's why it's fine to just have one wolf fight a single swordsman at a time. And here you're basically producing swordsmen and controlling your 2 groups of swordsmen to clear some neutrals. But I also decided to level up my 10 hall to tier 2. And then to get a second base, because I got a lot of gold from killing a lot of wolves repeatedly, and by killing a few trolls. And here you can see that I killed a wolf den, or all the wolves there. You can do that if there's an enemy towards that direction. You can just kill the wolves to deny your enemy from getting the XP from more wolves that might have respawned there if you left that position and you went somewhere else.
Our forces are under attack.
Here I'm trying to control 2 groups of swordsmen at the same time, just moving them away. They're being focused, but you don't need to do it so micro intensively. You can just control one group at a time so that you're not overwhelmed and, I guess, gonna be losing units. Because it's more important to not lose units than to clear more stuff, because the more units that live, then those units are going to have more XP and potentially more levels and going to be more valuable, just like these level 3 swordsmen here.
Our forces are under attack.
And pretty much, if you have only a few swordsmen at your base, they're more likely to get overwhelmed by skeletons. But if they level up to level 2, then they become very strong and very effective at fighting off a good amount of skeletons at nighttime. And pretty much, I made a smoothie here because when you get a fort or tier 2 town hall, it allows you to research the shield ability at the smoothie, which allows your swordsman to have a shield and be able to deflect all the ranged damage.
Research complete.
But also you can get the charge, but it's not as effective. It's more used to maybe fight off a few archers or to fight Cavaliers. So by the end of the first night, you should have a second base. You should potentially have a shield ability research. You have about a group of 20 swordsmen and about maybe 6 or 10 swordsmen. You can even buy a lot of potions to try and attack an enemy. You can pretty much just do whatever you want from this point onward. Maybe add a few more barracks or make Cavaliers or cannons. Just to whatever strategy you want to do, you can go ahead and do that. Alright, in here I'm going to show the 2 barracks start build. Basically you make 2 barracks using 3 workers each. And then you send 2 workers to chop some wood. But of course you start making all the peasants from your town hall before you start making your buildings. And then you tell the peasants coming out of your town hall to get some wood, because you used up all your wood to make the 2 barracks, so that's why you need to chop some wood first right away, so that you're going to be able to actually make some farms, so that your units are not going to be starving. And pretty much you can also start making swordsmen for both your barracks. Here I started making a farm. And then here I saw that I have enough wood to make a second farm. So I just take all the woodworkers and tell them to make a farm. This way I just have 1 worker getting some wood. So a bit later on I'm gonna have enough wood to make a 3rd farm. But you need more gold because you want to mass produce swordsmen, so you can tell your other workers to get some gold. And here, just like in a normal swordsman build, when you have about 5 swordsmen, you can start clearing a wolf camp or wolf den. And if you see some swordsmen getting focused down too much, you can tell them to walk away and basically make sure that your healthier swordsmen are the one taking more damage. So because you want to, I guess, spread the damage so all of your swordsmen can be actively healing instead of just a few of them healing at a time. And here, just about when I'm about to start starving, I'm able to start a 3rd farm. And I guess while you wait, just produce swordsmen, peasants, and of course you can clear neutrals. And just like in a normal swordsman build, you can try to have 2 groups of swordsmen on 2 different control groups they can use to go and clear enemies from 2 points of the map. That way that you can kill a lot of wolves in this camp, like I can show you here. And then while that camp is respawning more wolves, you can go and use your other group to clear the wolves on the other den. And there you can see I added 2 more wood workers because the trees are a little far on this spawn position, so you might have to compensate for the build and send a few more workers to get some wood if your trees are not too close to your main town hall. And pretty much you want to just keep on killing stuff, getting XP, and I guess more importantly gold.
Research complete. Our forces are under attack.
Because you can get all the gold by just getting all the gold by killing wolves, and on top of that you're gaining gold by mining with your peasants. So this build order allows you to have a lot more gold that you can use to make a lot of swordsmen, or to just transfer a good amount of your workers to wood so that you're able to make a lot more buildings, because you're gonna have a lot of gold from just killing all the units. But here I guess I decided to make a sawmill instead of a second base, but
Our forces are under attack.
yes, if you want to transfer to making all the archers, it's a good way to make a sawmill and just have double barracks production of archers. Or you could have invested that wood to make a second base to try and get even more gold
Forces are under attack.
that you could use to make even more swordsmen. So you can pretty much figure out what strategy you want to do and go towards it. But here, unfortunately, I get slowed down a little bit by these skeletons. So my timing of this upgrade for my town hall is going to be a bit later. So I got distracted a little bit by those skeletons. And then here I lose a swordsman, because I was also distracted, so sometimes it doesn't always work out to perfectly bankroll and I guess get the stuff you need done, like getting resources and getting enough wood to, I guess, get your technological timings on time. And here I'm getting my town hall to level 2.
More lumber is required. Our forces are under attack.
And this is pretty much the end of the first night. And by this time you should have a lot of swordsmen. And you can see I have a lot of gold that you can use to produce even more swordsmen. But you're gonna need to have a lot more peasants making more farms so that you can keep up with your production. And I guess this build is not as good as the Swordsman start build. It's not as economically beneficial. So this 2 barracks build is more used to, I guess, do like a earlier rush or push because in the beginning of the game, everyone's going to have just one barracks, but if you start with 2 barracks, you can very easily and quickly overwhelm your enemy by just having double the units.
Job's done.
And pretty much around this time, you could have made a smoothie, but I made mine a little late. So I'm going to have my shield ability a bit later, but I guess if you time your wood production a bit better, then you should be able to get the shield ability a few minutes earlier. And here pretty much you can continue killing more wolves and just leaving one and just keep on farming them to get all the levels and all the gold. And you can pretty much buy all the potions and just do a big push against your enemy if you want to. And that's pretty much it for the 2 barracks build order. Alright, and here I'm going to be showing the 5 swordsmen into fast Cavaliers build. And pretty much what you want to do is make peasants from your town hall right away. Like with every build order pretty much. And you want to start making your barracks with 8 peasants, so that you're able to start producing your 5 swordsmen right away. And pretty much when your barracks is finished up, you can take 4 peasants down to make a sawmill. Because you're going to need a lot of wood to make a few farms, and you're going to need a lot of wood to support your Cavalier production later on in this build. But pretty much you want to try to make 5 swordsmen and then 2 farms before you start upgrading your town hall. And here I was just shift clicking those workers so that you'll be able to go to those specific 2 trees that are a bit closer to the sawmill, so that they wouldn't be bumping into each other and slowing down your wood production. And there I noticed I was making too many peasants, and I was just trying to make sure I have enough gold and wood to start my upgrade for the tier 2 town hall. And here you can start it, and pretty much now you just don't make any units, no peasants, no swordsmen. And while you wait, you can use your 5 swordsmen to kill some wolves, so that you're able to get some levels on them. But you want to make sure that only 1 wolf is fighting 1 swordsman at a time, so you can pull away your swordsman to make sure that they're not getting too damaged. And so here we can see that I cleared most of these wolves, and I have about 5 level 2 swordsmen.
Upgrade complete.
And here you make sure that you have enough food, and here you can take 2 or 3 peasants to start making the stables right about the time when your tier 2 town hall finishes upgrading. And I also added a single archer just to keep my base a little safer during the night. And here I can show an easy way to clear an outpost, and it's super easy to clear it if you have about 4 or 5 level 2 swordsmen. And it's not really recommended to attack an outpost with a group of level 1 swordsmen, because you'll just get destroyed and you'll be more likely to lose all the swordsmen. But I guess more importantly, you'll just waste your time to micro your swordsmen, and all of them would be on low health, and then you would have to wait to see for them to heal up all the way, and that's why it's just easier to get some levels by killing some wolves before ever trying to clear an outpost. And just as my stable is cleared up, you just want to always keep producing Cavaliers. And I guess also producing peasants. And here you can use your group of 5 swordsmen to clear more enemies are on the map, or neutrals like trolls or wolves, but I personally like to just use them as defensive units around my base to just fight off skeletons, and then to just use my Cavaliers to get most of the XP by fighting the respawning wolves. And by killing the trolls, they have all the health. You're gonna give all the XP to your fresh Cavaliers. And it's good when you have about 3 Cavaliers to start fighting a troll. Because if you only have 2 of them, then you're not gonna be able to finish off a troll. So you're not gonna have enough damage per second to kill him. So this way, if you have 3 Cavaliers, then you can take away a Cavalier that's being punched and he's about half health. And then you can easily finish off a troll. And just like any other build order, you want to try to keep your units always active and just always fighting stuff, so that over time you could get more levels, so that your armies could be more powerful the longer you play. And here I saw I had all the gold, so I decided to make a second base. And it's more recommended to get a second base compared to getting 2 or 3 barracks, because 1 base economy is just not going to be good enough for you to be able to produce Cavaliers from every barracks. So it's better to have 2 bases so that you have enough resources to be always pumping out Cavaliers from 2 or 3 barracks. And here I guess forgot I didn't have enough food, so my Cavaliers do starve for a little bit, but you can always catch up and tell your peasants to make more farms. And here pretty much you can do whatever you want. Make more Cavaliers, or add some support archers to help out your Cavaliers when fighting. But you can also decide to make a smithy, like I started making. And pretty much when you have stables and a smithy, only then you're able to upgrade your tier 2 town hall to a tier 3. And when you unlock tier 3, you're able to get the church and get the cure ability for your Cavaliers. And if you get a cure for the Cavaliers or rage for the munchers, you're pretty much gonna make them twice or 3 times as useful, because without the abilities your Cavaliers are just gonna die twice as fast, because they're not gonna have the extra health that you can get by using the cure ability. And there you go. Pretty much by the end of the first night, I have about 10 or 11 Cavaliers. And I'm pretty much going to be able to start making a tier 3 town hall right when this smoothie finishes. And so in about 2 or 3 minutes, that town hall is going to be finished upgrading. You can get your church, and then get your cure ability, and then you're going to have a very powerful and leveled up army by the time that all the other enemies or players are just going to have armies of swordsmen or archers. And then you're going to be able to just run them down with your big force of Cavaliers. And that's pretty much it for the 5 swordsmen and 2 Cavaliers build. From this point onward, you can get potions, cure ability, or even a third base. It's pretty much open to whatever you want to do at this point. Anyways, if you liked the video, you can leave a like, leave a comment. If you want to see more videos on the Scouring demo, then you can subscribe. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.